Hey everybody, it's been like 2-3 weeks since you last saw me, but guess what? We're back with a new project. Oh my god, who would have thought? Not me, definitely not me. But here we are, we're making my portfolio. I did plan on doing this later in the year because I was like, I need to know React before I start working on any projects. But girl, no, you can just start whenever you want. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm making my portfolio and it took a lot out of me. I struggled so bad. Honestly, it was so humbling. But let's just get started. Okay, this time around, I did not record any of my research stage because I was like, do y'all really want to see that? And so I found all of my Google fonts on my own. I did my colors on my own. I found all my Pinterest photos, my reference pictures, and then I planned it all out. I had concepts, okay? And then I was like, let's do something I've never done before. And let's hope it goes well. And you know what that something was? I said, let's do desktop development first. I don't know what it's called, but you know how there's like mobile development first where you focus on like how it looks on the phone and then you go to bigger screens? I did the opposite. And that was my downfall for this project, honestly. The good thing is I found this like VS Code extension that lets you look at the mobile view while you're looking at the desktop view on live server, except there's always got to be an except. This VS Code extension was ass, bro. It was so bad. I would push things to GitHub and then I would go live on it to see how it looked, and it didn't even, the proportions weren't even the same. They looked bad. And honestly, it just pissed me off so much that I think after like these next 2 clips, you don't see it anymore. Because I got rid of that extension. I said, no, we're not going to be using that. But anyway, this was me laying out all my base elements. I think I did this in like 1 day. And then I was like, yep, that's enough. And then I didn't touch the project for like 2 days after that. Here I am working on the header/nav section. And I'm not even kidding. This took 45 minutes. You want to know why it took 45 minutes? Because I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't have a plan. I didn't have a layout. I didn't know what I wanted it to look like. So I was just looking stupid for 45 minutes. And that's all there is to this clip. Oh my god, how embarrassing, how humbling. But whatever. The next session took like 30 minutes and I actually did something with that time. I was working on the nav component on both desktop and mobile view at the same time, which is incredibly dumb. Don't do that. But you know what? It kind of worked out because I think everything looked cute in the end. Aren't the colors also like really cute? Like I kind of ate. I really did eat with these colors. Now this section, the hero section, I think is the most humbled I've ever been in my life. I had a clear idea of this section, okay? I didn't have a clear idea about the rest of the website, but I had an idea about this one. And my idea involved a lot of overlapping elements. And I was like, this is gonna look so cool. This is gonna be so great. Except one thing, ding, ding, ding. You don't know how to overlap elements like that. And so I had to do a lot of research on how to overlap elements. And everyone was like, you just have to use grid and you use the Z index and you use position relative. And I was like, okay, seems easy enough. And I was using all of those things and I just could not, it just was not working for me. Obviously, it worked out in the end, but it was just not working for me at this moment in time. And it was pissing me off so bad. And I was so stressed out. And I was stressing my family out because they were like, come down, eat dinner. And I was like, leave me alone. But I got it working in the end, at least I think. And you know what the hardest part was? You see that little black section, that little black line? I had to get it in between the final portfolio word. Every time I would move it, it would move everything else. And I just didn't know what I was supposed to be moving. And it was just so hard. It's been like 2 weeks since I finished coding this project. And I honestly have so many things to say about this section specifically because it still pisses me off that it doesn't look exactly how I envisioned it. And so I am gonna go back later in the future, maybe in like a month, and redo this entire thing. I want it to look the same, but I want it to look better. Does that make sense? This next section was my Meet Your Developer section, and comparing this to the hero, this was so easy to do, so simple. It was honestly just 2 divs displayed through Flex. Like, it so simple, so simple. The only problems I had here was I didn't know what pictures to choose. I still don't like the pictures that I have up, but I don't have any professionally taken pictures, and so I'm just like stalling until I have a moment to take professional pictures, and then I'll put the professional pictures on the portfolio so the portfolio looks professional. But I don't know if I want it to look professional or if I want it to like look nice, you know? You can't have both. You can either make it look nice or professional. Anyway, I couldn't figure out what picture to use, and then I couldn't figure out what style the picture should be, like if it should be in a circle or in a square. And I ended up with this like rectangle thing. It looks a little weird. I know it does. But low-key it's kind of slaying. Like it kind of looks cute. And then I think I took like 30 minutes trying to figure out a blurb for myself, and that's what I ended up on. Don't read it. It's embarrassing. It feels so fake, honestly. Writing blurbs about yourself feels so fake, but whatever, that's what it is. And this section is done. Next up, I did the footer because why not? Why go in order when you can go out of order and do whatever you want, I guess. So the footer was pretty easy. It's kind of like a nav, but not a nav. And all I included here were some of my, like, I guess important links. I included LinkedIn, Handshake, and GitHub, except if you click on any of those, they don't actually go anywhere because I didn't actually link them, because my Handshake looks like a mess, my LinkedIn looks like a mess, and my GitHub is so messy, and I'm not sure I want to display that to the world right now. But if you happen to come across my GitHub out of nowhere, or if you're looking for it and you find it, don't tell me. Do not tell me. It's fine to just look at it, but please do not tell me. I don't feel that great about it yet. Going back to the hero, I looked at the portfolio. You know how there's portfolio 4 times? In the reference picture that I was using, the subsequent portfolios after the first one look different than the first one. And so I had to figure out how to use nth child, and I made it look different. And honestly, it was not that hard, but it kind of was that hard because all you messed with was the weight, but I didn't know that yet. And so when I figured it out, I was like, wow, I'm a genius. And then since we're already out of order, I went back to the meet your developer section and I said, oh, you know what I'm missing? The technologies and languages that I know. And I had to add that in real quick. I wasn't sure if I should add other languages that I know, like SQL and Java, because I'm kind of focusing on web development. And so I was like, you know what, let's just add what I've learned so far in like the past 4 months. So that's what this is. Going back to doing things in order, the next section I completed was the experience section. This was not as humbling as the hero, but this was definitely humbling when I had to do the media queries and I would shrink the page and everything would not look nice. But whatever, let's focus on what I included in the experience section, because you know what? I actually don't have a lot of experience. Who would have guessed? I included relevant coursework that I took while I was at school. I included my GPA because I graduated summa cum laude, and that was a very big thing for me. And then I also included my experience working as a tutor for Java, and specifically I think the class was called like Intro to Data Structures. And then I included my final project as a senior, in which I worked with a lot of JavaScript and APIs, and I think that's kind of relevant. And then we got to the part where I actually had to do something with all this information I was putting onto the HTML. I just decided on doing very simple cards, and so there wasn't a lot of struggle with the development of that, but I did have to shorten a lot of the blurbs that I wrote, and I didn't know what to take off because I was like, this is all important. But no, it wasn't actually all important, and I managed to do it, and now everything looks cool. And then I also included some like keywords where I was like, what skills did I learn from this? And wow, I'm so smart. But then I had to lay it all out using a grid. Why did I choose grid again? Because I somehow prefer it over flex, even though flex is easier. But I said I'm gonna lay everything out using grid, and I tried, and oh my god, I struggled for so long, and my end result wasn't even what I was aiming for. But I was like, this also looks cool, and so I just kept it like that. But I want y'all to know that that end result was not intentional. It was actually an accident. But yeah, let's move on to the final section, which is the project section. Final section, let's go. This had to be the easiest to lay out. It's honestly just a copy. There's 6 copies, I think, of the exact same thing. Super easy, right? Wrong. For some reason, I was being so dumb and I couldn't remember how to lay everything out in columns. Girl, you just worked with grid in the previous section. How could you not remember how to use grid? I ended up making so many mistakes in this section with the spacing. I couldn't get it right. And you know why? Because I wasn't using grid. I was being stupid and I was like, let's use flex for the first time. Girl, when you need to use grid, you don't use it? After I realized the error of my ways, I did end up using grid and I did fix all of my problems. So I don't know why I decided to do that. But now we can finally focus on the little touches and doing the media queries. And did the media queries kill me? Yes, they did. They were so hard. It was so hard going from a desktop to a phone size. And you know what? I should have done this section by section. I should have adjusted at each section and been like, what does this look like on the phone? But no, I said, let's do the entire thing and then adjust. I don't know how people do it normally, but that does not work for me. I need to do it section by section or else I lose my place in the code. I had like 1,000 lines of CSS. I definitely have too many media queries, but I just didn't see how else this would work. In the future, when I come back and revise this, I'm definitely getting rid of a lot of these. I feel like I should only have 2 to 3 max, right? Because you're supposed to have a media query every time your code breaks. I have like 5. I know that's not normal. But yeah, I adjusted everything that needed to be adjusted. I think I did some off-screen adjusting also because I woke up the next day after I finished and I was like, wait, the spacing between this and this doesn't look right in my head. And then I went back and I fixed it. And so here is the final product. I will shut up. Y'all will have your little moment. Look at it, observe it, and I'll see you after. Wow, wasn't that amazing? Didn't I do a good job? Thank you so much. That's all I have for this video. That's all I have for this project. Definitely will be redoing it in the future. I don't think I'm going to record it because it's going to look exactly the same, but keep that in mind. It will be better in the future. I think for the next couple of weeks I'm going to be focusing on a lot of projects, so look forward to having a lot more of these and my chaotic ramblings. I hope y'all enjoyed that. I will see y'all next week, maybe. I don't know yet. I'll see you at some point. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye.